Hello and welcome everyone to the Warhammer Meta Chasers. This is your weekly live tournament hype show. My name is Paul, your host. I'm joined by Adam Camilleri
G'day.
and the mogul Dustin Henshaw.
G'day.
Welcome everyone. Welcome to the live chat. We do this live each and every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Check us out if you can. Appreciate everyone checking us out after the fact on the podcast as well. We have an amazing event to bring you. We're going to cover one event. This is the Canhammer team tournament. One event that Dustin's going to be there.
I can't go to more than one on the weekend, unfortunately. I would if I could.
Up your game, Dustin.
I'm sorry. I got to get good.
Los Angeles. Well, you got to be that one G-Sealer cult player who's
I got to represent.
rising up everywhere. Los Angeles Classic and Munsterland, given where in the world is War Games Live right now, is actually going to be at Canhammer teams as well. So you can maybe get some of those games viewed for your viewing pleasure over the course of the weekend.
You might get to see me on stream. You never know.
You just got to want it.
I don't want it, but it's okay. If I get on there, it's fine.
I do apologize. I did not manage to get Munsterland done in time. I added it to the thing, opportunistically, being like, if I have time, I will do this one. I unfortunately did not get to do it.
Is Munsterland in Germany?
Reads the teleprompter.
Yeah. Who would have thought? Who would have thought Munsterland was in Germany? But you're correct.
Look, sometimes, we're human. We just got to be human sometimes, and that's okay. The first event we are going to cover is the Canhammer team tournament from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. 176 players, 22 teams of 8, 5 rounds. In team events, no more than one faction per team, so we might see some skews in what we normally see from a singles event for percentage wise. But what we look for is what factions get close to that 50% or more for every single team.
Exactly.
What are we going to see there?
This is an 8-pack. So this is 8 players per team. So this is as big as teams get, and is a very good indication of what, especially Canada, thinks an 8-player team will look like. Sorry, take it away, Dusty.
No problem. So again, with 22 teams, we are looking at anything that is 11 or over is what the Canadian meta seems to be thinking is the best, at least in teams, if nothing else. So the Imperial Super Faction, there are 6 Sisters of Battle, 16 Custodes.
There we go.
First one right there. 2 AdMech, 10
That's only like 47 models between everybody.
It's true. They probably share the same army. 2 AdMech, 10 Astra Militarum, very close to the 50% mark here. We do have a lot of Astra Militarum players. 9 Grey Knights, 3 Imperial Knights, Space Marines, there's 1 Adeptus Astartes, 5 Dark Angel, 2 Space Wolves, 3 Blood Angel, and 7 Black Templar, which technically does break that 50% mark because there's only 1 Space Marine faction allowed in every team. Chaos, there's 5 Chaos Space Marines, 5 T-Suns, 8 Death Guard, 10 World Eaters, 5 Demons, and 9 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there are 20 Necrons. That means only 2 teams didn't bring a Necron player.
That's a yikes.
That's a yikes. 6 Orcs, 9 Tau, and 8 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 7 Tyranids and 5 Gene-Stealer Cult. You see, this is how it's done, everybody. This is my backyard. This is the Ascension Day, all right?
Showing them how it's done.
It's showing everybody how the G-Star Cult is done here. Eldari, there's 5 Drukhari and 9 Eldari, meaning this faction podium is 20 Necrons topping it off, obviously, because Necrons are just considered so good. That means only 2 teams did not take them. Adeptus Astartes very close behind them with 18, so only 4 teams not taking them, and then Custodes at 16. Those are the 3 that are over the 50% mark, and then Astra Militarum and World Eaters are actually at 10, so very close to the 50% mark as well.
So World Eaters is a very unique case point here, because naturally Astra Militarum is good no matter how big your team is, I believe. But World Eaters, when you start cracking down to what is our 6th, 7th, 8th list, though things like the Death Guard, the T-Suns, the World Eaters really start to kind of hold a place. And if you have an aggressive player or defensive player, or in between for T-Suns, that being Death Guard's more defensive and pressure build, World Eaters more aggressive. If you just have a more aggressive player, you will just be like, well, can you take World Eaters? And it's very interesting to see that they're like the one more than any other that I believe that the 8-pack has brought up to a level on a podium with some other factions.
For sure. Yeah, they are actually a very good teams list because they compare well with some of the other aggressive lists, and there's just some lists that cannot handle it.
I find we've said this before for other factions, a bit of a confidence pick. If you feel like you have a good pairings matrix, if you have good data, and if you have a good person who pairs at the table, Welded is an absolute weapon, weapon. Sure. But if you don't, they can be a bit of a big win, big loss proposition for your army, for your team.
Are they one of those teams you can kind of float out in the middle tables, like you don't care, you don't have to be covetous of what the table pick is, and maybe
interesting point. Actually, I should point this out because this is unique to Canhammer teams. 4 of the tables are going to be WTC. The other 4 are player placed. So table pick actually makes a big difference.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
So that could very well be the reason that World Eaters have been unlocked, because World Eaters on player placed, it feels real good. Yeah. It feels really quite good. Being like, well, my side of the table is stacked with lanes of ingress, with staging positions. Yeah,
for sure.
I just made the international symbol of terrain.
In case you're not here live with us right now watching the video.
Yeah. Blocked out this whole area. We picked out a team to highlight as well.
We did indeed. I picked Blunt Force Trauma, who, if I remember correctly, did they win last year?
I believe so. Yes, they are. They're basically the ones to beat in the Canadian meta here for Team 1.
Well, if they didn't win last year, then I'm incorrect, because I picked them because I thought they won last year. So there's like 4 or 5 really strong, really stacked teams at this event, and I was kind of tossing up which one. Naturally, I didn't pick Dusty's one because we tried to avoid the nepotism tablet. We don't like to.
Sorry to everybody else on the stud team. You're part of mine. You don't get recognized.
Tanked by Dustin.
You're tagged by me. I'm sorry.
Beautiful. So I will give this a quick rundown, and as of course, assume utility units are in these with 8 players, on one screen. It does make it very hard for your viewing pleasure to get an impression of the entire list. It would just be way too many lines if I included 3x2 Crusaders and there's a single Demifuge or some nonsense like that. So just assume there are support units, support characters to go along with most of the most logical choices here. But starting off, we have a Canoptic Court of Necrons, triple Catan, that being Nightbringer, Void Dragon, and a Transcendent. Then Max Wraiths with Technomancers, and then Max Scarabs, which is quite interesting. So very much going for the smothering approach here to just drown
Mortal
the primary.
Wounds, man.
Yeah, just drown them. Then we've got a Death Guard Plague Company, 10-10, 5-5 Plague Marines, which was started to see that to be coalescing as the correct amount, most people assume. And of course, they've got their character support in Putrefiers and Blightspawns and stuff. 2 Predator Destructors, 2 Plague Burst Crawlers, 3 Blow Drones, triple Blow Drones, unfortunately not Flesh Mowers, and then 3x3 Nurglings.
Disappointing.
Then we have a Grey Knight Teleport Strike Force, 2 Grandmaster Dread Knights, 3 regular Dread Knights, Drago, and then 2x10 Terminators, which we haven't seen very often for quite a while. But yeah, 2x10 Termies being kind of the meat there, while the Dread Knights jump around. Dark Angels Ironstorm. This is disgusting, Curie. Jeremy, you should be ashamed of yourself. 3 units of 5 Jump Pack Intercessors, a Dark Shroud, 3 Redemptors, and 2 Storm Ravens. Absolutely brutal. When paired appropriately, the terrain doesn't matter, so who cares who gets picked? This thing will just either 20 you or not 20 you. A Custody Shield Host, 3 units of 5 Wardens, 2 Caladius Grav Tanks, a single unit of 4 Custody Guard, Trajan, Draxus, and a Caladius Assassin. Sorry, Caladius and Calidus in the same list is annoying. Please be better. We have an Astra Militarum Combined Arms, Combined Regiment, 3 Medicals, single Basilisk, 6 Bulgrin, maximum Kaskin, that being 30. Land Raider Battle Tank, which is starting to get a lot more inclusion, a single Tank Commander, Creed, and Lord Solar. And
Leman Russ.
Yeah, the regular Lehman Russ battle tank. Because it has self-contained rerolls. It rerolls to hit when it's targeting something on an objective. People are putting that in outflank a lot and just using it to come on and clear a flank. We've got Adeptus Sororitas, Hallowed Martyrs, maximum Arco-Flagellants, that being 30. Celestine and the Triumph, 2 Castigators, Exorcist, a unit of 10, unit of 5 Seraphim, and unit of 5 Zephyrim. This is actually a copy-paste from Typhus's list that he played last weekend at Alpine Cup. This is exactly the same list, so that one might be one to watch. And then lastly, we have an Eldari Battle Host, 3 into 5 Shadow Spectres, 3 into 5 Swooping Hawks, 2 into 5 Warp Spiders, 5 Fire Dragons, a single Night Spinner, which I haven't seen in a while since the balanced data slate, because it went up to a bajillion points, but I think 1 is pretty cute. 3 single D cannons, Avatar, Fugan, and an Autark, making up this 8-pack. And for special comments, we'll go to Dusty, because a lot of these are your mates. What do you think of their 8-pack, and how do you think you match up to it?
They have a very strong 8-pack. All their players are very experienced and very good players. It's always our hardest matchup. Like every tournament we go to, we run into them every single time, and it is always a bloodbath. It's within points every single round. So we have a very similar roster. Actually, we have the exact same Dark Angels list. We have, I think it's the exact same Custodes list. We actually switched a little bit because our Sisters player couldn't make it to Canhammer, so we didn't bring Sisters this time. But we do have Chaos Knights, Genius Occult, and Drukhari instead of the Death Guard, Eldari, and Astra Militarum. Because again, we don't have an Astra Militarum player either.
It's very nice. So even in the layout of this, there is, I think, about 4 lists here that are just kind of brawlers in the middle. Like we have the Canoptic Court, we have the Death Guard, we have the Custodes, and somewhat the Astra Militarum that kind of just exist. The Grey Knights that kind of just want to exist and trade in the middle, and then just do more favorable trades to their opponent, get some 2-for-1s, and or just smother and deny primary. And then we have big 20 getters in the Dark Angels, the Guard, and it looks like they're going to be the swords to go out and get the big scores.
You're saying they're trying to create mismatches of things that just will not be able to deal with what's there. So
overwhelm people with that multi-wound high toughness profiles, especially found on the Grey Knights, Necrons, and Custodes. And one of those is going to get a mismatch. You know, not many people have 3 counters to those. You know, so a lot of people are bringing Custodes counters, but you know, let's say the Custodes get countered, but the Grey Knights and the Necrons are virtually pulling the same level. One of those gets through, it gets a decent win. And I think that's definitely something they're leaning upon.
What do y'all think is the first put out in a list or a roster like this?
I think it's up for debate. Personally, I do like the Eldari. Now that I know there's player placed as half of this, I do like the Eldari as being the put up, because with the list that they've got, they can kind of play into anything and get a decent score. Dustin, what are you, if you're unpacking this yourself, what do you predict when you go to the pairings table that they're going to slap down first?
If I'm predicting, so first of all, I never assume. I always plan for everything. But that said, I don't think they'd put out their Eldari player. Tim is arguably one of the best players in the country, and he's the one playing that. So I don't think they need to use him as a defender. They want to put somebody out there that has a little bit, maybe a fewer worse matchups, but can still pick their table and what they need. So like either the Grey Knights, it's a really good defender list, or
I was going to say Death Guard and or Sisters are in similar positions where they just don't really have don't really have big reds.
The field, even in a worse matchup.
Those
like the worst
regardless.
The worst matchup I think for Death Guard at the moment is probably Guard. Just being like, well, Basilisk, your movement 2. Congrats. And even then they can still kind of brawl and try and get a little loss in the middle of the board, which they still can do pretty effectively. So yeah, Death Guard probably be my pick, and or Sisters, but I don't know the players. So
their Sisters player and their Death Guard player, they're all really good players. Like
it's Francois on the Death Guard, you said.
Francois is on the Death Guard. Riley's on the Sisters, so he was on WTC as well.
He won't like being a put up. He wants to get the wins. He likes winning too much.
He, I think, historically does get put up a lot now, though, since he's been put on Death Guard anyway. Because he used to be World Eaters, and since he's not on World Eaters, like, okay, fine. Well, if you don't want to run at people, then you sit here and you get points.
You got to swing for the fences. You got to grind it out.
That's right.
There are only 2 options. At events like this, we don't pick a winning team. We pick the faction we think is going to pull down the highest battle points. So each and every week, if you're new here, we predict what we think is going to score the best or win the event. We each take turns at predicting what that's going to be. Then we score ourselves and talk about it. And we basically poke fun at each other in our second show that we do on our Patreon.
Exactly right. And if you want to catch that, go over to Patreon, Warhammer Meta Chasers. You will need to sign up to the second tier to get access to that part 2, which went up just some minutes ago for last week's show, where we've started a brand new month. So a great time to jump in and catch the front foot of this chicanery we do. But
every tier is awesome, but that's definitely the one that starts getting you some of the cooler stuff, the
juicier bits. Paul, what would you like to pick?
Ooh, that's a good question. I should have been thinking about this while we were talking about this.
All right, easy. I'm going first. Dark Angels.
Yeah, Dark Angels, nice. I mean, I feel like I've just the weight of this got to go with Necrons.
Nice. Yeah, I believe that's a great pick as well. Dustin, are we putting down GSC because you yourself? Are you betting yourself?
Let's do it. Let's go.
He's betting on himself. I like that. I like that confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. No pressure. I mean,
no pressure. I don't care. Even if I get 0-5 times, I don't care, man. But I'm going for it.
So the next event we're going to talk about is the Los Angeles Open in Pasadena, California. USA is where that is, in case anyone was curious. 50
This was
players.
This was a funny one, running down and just seeing like a third of the players are Xenos Petting Zoo, and it is run by the Xenos Petting Zoo, which is one of the great clubs and great brands in our beautiful 40K community. And yeah, just seeing like Xenos Petting Zoo, like walls of it behind people's names in the faction breakdown was pretty funny.
Got to hang out with them on the US event series for Games Workshop, and nice folks.
Yeah, undeniably doing it right, like I believe. If you wanted a gold standard for a multi-dynamic club that has, people playing competitively, socially, or anything in between, and just supporting all of it and bringing people together, yeah, they're gold standard.
Love it. That's what we
What we gonna see there.
So for this one, the Imperial Reflection, there are 2 Sisters of Battle, not a single custode in sight.
Yeah, boy. Remember what I said about doing it right? Yeah.
Nice. 3 Astra Militarum, 3 Grey Knights. The Space Marines, there's 1 Adeptus Astartes, 3 Dark Angel, 1 Space Wolf, 2 Blood Angels, and 2 Black Templar. Chaos, there's 1 Chaos Space Marine, 4 T-Suns, 5 Death Guard, 4 World Eaters, 2 Demons, and 1 Chaos Knight. Xenos, there's 1 Necron, 1 Orc, 4 Tau, and 1 Votan. So the Xenos Petting Zoo has the least amount of represented Xenos. That's interesting. Hive Mind, there's 2 Tyranids and 2 Gs. They're called out in force this week. This is amazing. 2 is in
like
force,
7 dudes.
7 dudes, man. That's 7 times more than we thought there were GSC players in the world. Okay, that's a big deal. Eldari, there is 2 Drakari and 2 Eldari, meaning the faction podium is Death Guard, topping it with 5. Tau and T-Suns in second with 4. And then Dark Angels, Astra Militarum, and Grey Knights tied in third with 3. And there is a beautiful spread. There it is.
I put a little hashtag at the end of the faction podium in our Google Doc that says the most Aussie thing I've ever seen, because this is the Bizarro World meta. And so there was like 4 or 5 50-player events that we could have covered, but I looked at this one and I Control F Custodies, Control F Necrons, and I'm like, what the hell? We're covering this. 1 Necron, 0 Custodies. This is a brand new world. They're living in their own little bubble over there, and I'm here for it. Absolutely hilarious.
I do like that though. I mean, this like where players just, it seems like people are playing what they want, which is really cool.
You're actually going to play stuff you never played before in that event. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is so hilarious. I'm absolutely down. Top players in attendance, and there were very many, but the one I decided to pull out 2. One of them is because it's a meme dream, and I think it needs to be celebrated. But the first of which is Matthew Gaia with Chaos Demons, which are in some realms, in some states, in some places, definitely on the rise. And there's quite a bit to unpack here. It's got Bellicor and a Great Unclean One with the Endless Gift, that being the 4-up Feel No Pain. In the Shadow Chaos, that is. 2 Renmasters and a Skull Taker. First time I've seen Skull Taker in some time. 10 Bloodletters, single unit of 3 Nurglings, so very light on the Nurglings. A unit of 6 and a unit of 3 Blood Crushers. Yeah, boy. 5 Flesh Hounds, a single Skull Cannon, and then 2 allied in War Dog Brigantes, or Brigands in non-stupid word. But this is very
player,
spicy.
man. I appreciated that.
Do you guys know what the Renmasters do? Are you guys abreast?
Oh yeah, for sure. The ones that give AP, strength, and damage when they point at something,
yes.
and say you're gonna die.
The way this works, I'm just pulling up the data sheet now, is that I believe they point at something within like
18 inches, I believe. And they have to see him.
Wow.
Yeah, they have to see him. Here we go. At the start of the fight phase, select 1 enemy unit within 18 of invisible to the model. So 18 is pretty judicious. Until the end of the phase, each time a friendly Khorne Legion Demonica unit makes an attack that targets that, and improve the strength, armor penetration, and damage. So essentially improve everything good by 1.
The really important thing to remember about this too is because it's an addition to, half damage doesn't apply to this.
Correct. It's a way of killing.
It gets around things like Satans.
Yeah, because they halve it and then you do the +1.
Yeah, and then you do the plus.
Yeah,
or +2 if you point out with both of them. Because it stacks.
Because you can stack it. Exactly. Yeah. It stacks. So you can double down. Someone puts their Void Dragon in the middle and you're like,
so suddenly 10 Bloodletters are now a real threat to his team.
It's time to go. You go.
And of course, the Blood Crushers, the unit of 6 of them, definitely have their Brass Stampede special rule. Each time this unit ends a charge move, select 1 enemy unit within engagement range and roll a d6 for each model in the unit, which will be 6 d6s. And on a 4+ is d3 mortals. So you can do 6 d3 mortal wounds, if you roll all 4+, which won't happen. But it is very spicy. That just you can just punch through just with the charge mortals. And, there's a lot of spiciness to be had there because, of course, there's the propensity that if someone has a very weak screen out front, that's only like, 5 wounds, but then they're very close behind, you can charge the front screen, mortals through them in the charge phase after the charge move, and then pile into what's behind and still get to attack them. So it is pretty spicy because now, for a lot of people, maybe you've forgotten this, but 10th edition doesn't have the restrictions that 9th had where you could only attack what you charged. So as long as you get within engagement range, you just swing for the fences.
Yeah, a lot of people are forgetting that. That's very important to remember if you're playing against a CC army, or more importantly, if you're playing a CC army.
Yeah, exactly right. And the Hellblade is 2 attacks, which hits on 3 is a strength 5 -2, 2 damage, which could be strength 5 -4, 4 damage. That just kills anything in the game, pretty much.
It's a lot of damage and a lot
I was
of.
trying to. I was just checking to think of to think about why they may have gone with the brigands as opposed to some of the other Chaos Knights.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose a carnival would be much more on brand, wouldn't it? I believe it's
Well, I
because
mean,
one of the biggest.
you take
Sorry,
those to shore up weaknesses or what you think maybe give you some
Yeah.
extra little ability.
Well, so the weaknesses of Chaos Demons are transports.
Yep.
You essentially you don't have significant shooting assets. I mean, skull cannons I guess are fine, but you need to take 2 or 3 of them to kill a rhino. Whereas the brigands walking on from a flank just pop transports at will, and then they can unlock the juicy contents for the death killing of the especially the corn based demons.
They've
here.
got the multi-melta. They've got
Yeah.
the Gatling cannon.
Yeah. I do see that as a big weakness. You play against a land raider and you're just like, oh, I need to get a Be'lakor to charge this, or put all six of my crushers through an Overwatch into this with 2 Ren Masters looking at it to believe that I'm going to get the job done 100%. And then when the contents come out, be they just like eradicators or
Going to mention that whatever's inside becomes a problem.
Gets to smash you with your best units just lined up for the eating. So I do believe the brigands are there for transports. And I think it's a good call.
Good call. Yeah.
That makes sense.
The next list is Joel Wilson, one of the stalwarts of the Zinnes Petting Zoo, and he has a Ultramarines Ironstorm. And when you read this down, you're like, "Where's the Ironstorm?" Until you get to the end, there's the Ironstorm. There's the biggest, the Chunderhawk. He's got Kalgar and a Phobos Libby. He's got a Tech Marine with Target Augury Web, a unit of company heroes, 3 units of 3 Eliminators with no Impulsor, which is interesting, and very happy to see Joel. 5 Infiltrators, 2 Predator Destructors, 2x5 Scouts, and 840 points of Thunderhawk Gunship. This is what I meant about the mean dream.
This is the second list you pulled out that had Predators in it. And the first one was, Death Guard, but this is the second appearance of Predators, and I don't think that's a coincidence. And I don't think that's just unique to these lists.
They're back.
No, I do. I totally agree. I've got the Thunderhawk Gunship data sheet up here. What do you think? So just quickly pointing out, how much toughness, save, and wounds do you think you get for your 840 points, lads?
11 toughness and 20 wounds.
No, it's 13 toughness.
Way higher.
Yeah.
12 toughness only, but way more wounds.
Okay,
30? Yeah, 24 wounds.
30.
I said, wow. Yeah, that's right. Woo. Oh, my second.
Yeah, toughness 12, 2+ save, 30 wounds. The main gun, the Turbo Laser Destructor, is D3 +1, blast, hits on 3s, strength 20, neg 4, D6 +6, and it just pops off.
Not bad.
I just love it that basically you imagine it coming in like straight down to shoot at something, like it has to.
Yeah. Because the gun's on the top.
Fear.
The gun's on the top. You got to point straight out to get to shoot stuff. Abilities are as thus, of course, Deadly Demise D6 +2, so it's going to absolutely boom when it booms. It does have hover, so it can start on the table. And each time a unit with the Deep Strike ability disembarks from this model after it has made a normal move, the unit is still eligible to declare a charge, even though I do not believe there's anything significant in here to declare a charge from this Chunderhawk. Has a transport capacity of 30 infantry and Astartes mounted models. Each jump pack Wolfen takes up 2, blah, 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 all that good stuff. I did think it would have been cute to put the Eliminators in the Thunderhawk, and then you just fly that out 20 inches, and then they get out, shoot, and then move from the Thunderhawk. So I thought that could be really cute as a little combo to go and get objectives.
That's not bad. That's interesting.
I've never seen one in this. Well, I shouldn't say that. We've seen them be played once, but not competitively. I think more for fun and for the aspect of the theme
Yeah.
So yeah, literally the step up from this is playing the single warhound. That's the only that's the next level of the meme. Is like
I don't know. You could do double Chunderhawk.
you could do double Chunderhawk. It's absolutely.
I can't believe I just said that. Like I was reading the screen.
did.
It's not...
You did.
Look,
Well
everyone
done.
that I know that has a Thunderhawk and plays with is having the time of their life.
Yeah. He knows what he's here for. He's here for a good time. And either Thunderhawk's going to win the game or it's going to die turn 2 and you've lost the game. Yeah. All right.
I guess you could put this entire army inside of it.
Legitimately, yeah, you could.
could.
You could agree infantry
Inside
model
for the
inside
Predators.
Correct. Yeah. It is pretty funny. Pretty very funny. And then everything just starts inside and then just like yeets out at will.
You got one turn to shake it down.
That's it. Let's pick some winners, gentlemen.
Okay.
This is tough.
This is a very wide, very wild.
This is like there's no custodes and one Necron here. Like that's
this is crapshoot.
Picture like
I'm going Tyranids.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean there is no bad picks here because this meta is absolutely bonkers. So just do whatever. I'm gonna back this demon list.
Okay.
By Mr. Gaia. I like it a lot. Dusty boy.
I am going to back T-Suns.
Yeah, there's no literally. We could throw a dart. We could throw a dart at a dartboard.
T-Suns is a good choice.
Yeah, I think if any of us get points this week,
it'll be
just be
coincidence.
Happy. just pat ourselves on the back with this one. It's literally just a coincidence.
This is the point where we would normally give it a shout out to a sponsor, but we're going to sponsor ourselves instead and say go check out our Patreon if you have not already. It takes a whole lot to put this show together, and that is one way to support the show. Of course, there are many ways, but that is one way that directly supports the things and keeps the wheels moving so we can keep this content flowing. Please check it out if you have not already. If you have done that and haven't given us 5-star reviews, or Patreon's not right for you right now, please give us a 5-star review, a thumbs up, or a like, or whatever. That is how you kind of fool the algorithms into having other people come and join us. Maybe they join us live. Maybe you get more people to talk to.
Yeah.
When we're doing this live or comment with. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Right.
I want to give a shout out to an event going on in the world. There's Warhammer being played in Ukraine right now.
Yes. Wow. Wild and amazing.
Tournament. Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of neat that the Warhammer's all over the place and people are enjoying it, even when times might not be the best. So, it's really nice to see.
Totally agree, mate.
How's everybody else doing?
Yeah, doing good. It's the time for some Fuego Action.
I was about to say, this might be a short show because I
didn't get the third. Yeah,
it's all Adam's fault. That's where Paul was going with that.
Just to let you know, I set aside about 2 hours every Thursday night to get the prep done, and it just shows how long it takes you to get it. I didn't get it done in 2 hours, so I didn't get the third one.
Like 5 minutes talking about X-Men 97.
Do it.
Yes, you can, sir.
This show is spectacular. I mean, as an X-Men fan,
Paul posted on Facebook.
I'm still in shock from the episode last night that we watched. I mean, it's got checks all the boxes. We've got nostalgia from the storylines in the comics. We've got this, cool retro vibe of the way they're doing the animation. Ace of Base is in.
What?
Yeah. Plays during the episode.
Oh my God.
So you instantly get transported back to the 90s. You're
it's a superb show. It is probably the best Marvel anything that I've seen since Infinity War. It is freaking amazing.
Yeah. What they've done with the episodes is each one of the episodes is almost like a synopsis or a run through of some storyline arc that has happened in the comics.
Hi, Owen.
So it is, but they've also got the new spins and new takes on it, and they're doing them slightly out of order to make this new story. And it is awesome. And no spoilers. Don't want to spoil anything because it's worth watching. But there's some things in there for old fans, new fans.
Yeah.
And if there was something, if you read any of those arcs, you're going to instantly pick up on it and be hungry to figure out what they're doing with it for the next part of the story.
I downloaded the first 2 episodes for my flight home from the States, and the third one was coming out while I was in the air, and I was so annoyed. I'm like, I need the third one now. Yeah.
But this episode 5 has no chill, and they absolutely punch you in the gut several times during it. And anyway, if they're
I'm
keep the gas going
constantly impressed at how much they pack into such a small show
in a 20
every week.
minutes or whatever.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyway,
Well,
let's
and
start
that means that next week's Fuego is going to be X-Men themed. No spoilers, but X-Men themed 100%. I'm going to watch the last episode between now and then put the X-Men theme for sure.
Out of control.
Man,
Looking forward to it.
It's on Disney.
Anyway, I'm here for this ride. But thank you for that, indulging me there.
Request is to rank the X-Men villains. Top 3 X-Men villains.
Done.
That's my one request for one of the questions.
Okay.
Next to Batman.
Don't do it now.
Next to Batman, I think X-Men has the best villains in all anything.
Let's make it hard. Let's be a villain that has never been considered heroic.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay,
we got to make it hard.
You're complicating it. Put that in the Discord. Otherwise, I'm going to forget that little caveat.
So this is the palette clan. Oh, time start.
Oh my God! What was it?
There's no time. At the end of every episode, we normally have been talking about hard, crunchy stats, meta, who's going to win what's going on out there, what's happening in the world of Warhammer 40,000. And we give ourselves a little palette cleanser here at the end of the show, where we give ourselves a series of topics. We put a clock on the screen. We give ourselves 2 minutes to talk about each one of these topics. Once the clock stops, we abandon the topic right then and there, never to return to it again, unless Patreon demands it.
Yep. Food time, Paul. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's been a while since we talked about some food, so we're gonna food related. So we're gonna see what it is. First one. Eliminate one food so nobody could ever eat it again. What is it?
Oh, that's hard.
That is hard.
Like nobody could ever eat it again. Like something that I don't know if it disgusts you or you just think people shouldn't be eating it or whatever the reason might be, or just something that shouldn't be food.
Might be like Scandinavian fermented fish.
Fermented fish, I could see that.
Yeah.
I ate some of that when I was up there, and I actually did not mind it. But there was like levels to that thing where it gets more funk and more messed up, and the further you go down that road, I just don't comprehend. I mean, with it, like there was just such barren times during some winters for generations that they were just like, well, I guess we got to eat this, and now they've acclimatized to it and just considered it as a regular food. But sweet mercy, like the stank that comes off some of it.
I'm sure that there are some cultures out there where like necessity has born certain things that have become delicacies and is now part of their overall thing. But I'm going to go and just say olives on pizza.
Really?
Making some enemies here, Paul.
Really? That's a bold choice. That is
I can eat a lot of stuff on pizza.
If you were going to say something on pizza, I assumed you'd say pineapple, which is wrong because I love pineapple on pizza. But that's
you guys. You're both wrong.
Yeah.
You're both wrong.
It needs olives and no pineapple, according to Adam.
So the very PC term here is whale.
Whale.
If I could eliminate whale as a food, I would.
Okay.
It's been very problematic for many years. I hear it's delicious, and I don't know if I walked past like a street vendor that was selling whale, whether I would not try it out of curiosity. But just let's not eat whales anymore. Might be the people's champion response.
Right. Okay. For me, it's an easy one. Fermented duck eggs. Yep.
Those are all reasonable answers. I feel
apparently it's a delicacy.
You went so hardball compared to us.
That's just weird, man. No.
We went for like the rotting, the pungent.
Don't eat things that are rotting. Like, come on.
Staple pizza ingredient. Delete it.
Look, some things people need to survive. You take that out of the ecosystem, like, what are they eating?
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Olives on pizza is a choice that is avoidable.
So's boiled beef. You can cook it differently. I like that one.
Yeah. Boiled beef. There are options.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right.
Next up, lose sleep or skip a meal. Paul's not.
Here's the secret: I never sleep.
Dude, any of us ever sleep?
But I'm never skipping a meal.
I'm 50-50 on this. Depends what meal. I'm a regular breakfast skipper, but
I definitely don't eat breakfast a lot either.
I'm like a minimum 6 hours to function kind of dude, so probably skip a meal over the sleep. As I get older, I need sleep more, which is usually the opposite.
Man, I get hangry. Like, if we're ever in an event together, you just assume I probably need some granola or
Yeah,
some
yeah,
granola.
yeah. I've seen him there. I've seen him get antsy.
It's
I
funny,
try and keep him.
if I had to think about it, because when I'm at events too and I haven't eaten breakfast or lunch, I'm actually fine. But that might be because I'm distracted with 40K and I just like 40K sustains me. So that might be. I probably would say skip a meal, even though I do like my food. Obviously,
I like my food a lot. But if you ever at a 40K event, where we're streaming, or any event where we're streaming, and you see a bunch of snacks scattered around Paul's side of the desk, that's because I bring him snacks. Because when he's not doing good, it's my problem. It's
everybody's problem,
me.
but Adam can fix it.
Yeah,
You're a
well,
little
I sit next
hangry.
to him, so when he's hangry, it's freaking pointed at me. So yeah, I just sprinkle snacks in Paul's direction.
Some raisins or something, you know. I'm
anything,
easy.
anything.
It's
I've seen him
funny.
desperate.
It looks like the consensus of both in chat and with us is that we may not sleep regularly anyway, but we'd still skip a meal before losing sleep.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I think that's solved.
I think that's solved. Yeah. All right, next one. Other than fish, what are the worst foods to put in the office microwave?
Broccoli
eggs
seems to like sometimes. Broccoli seems like sometimes it just does its thing and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. But
oh man, I'm a jerk if that's the case because I put broccoli in the microwave a lot.
I find eggs.
You might be the rolling the dice all the time and coming up
Maybe
good.
I am. Maybe I'm just coming up good. I never put like fish in there, but what else?
Yeah,
you
eggs
said
never smell worse. Never smell worse than when cooking
that's
in a microwave.
true. Actually, eggs are a really bad one. Eggs are really bad.
And cooking eggs in a microwave is just the worst way to cook eggs.
Yeah.
Asparagus by Erwin, that's a good call. That's a good call. Yeah.
Does that not heat up well? Actually, I don't think I've microwaved asparagus that often.
It turns to mush. It loses all like structure. It becomes a paste. It's quite rough.
Yeah.
I guess you want like a asparagus soup.
Would mushrooms in there be rough?
Wouldn't they be the same thing? Well, they're already squishy.
That's another thing I also would like to ban on pizzas.
Mushrooms?
Really? Mushrooms?
What? That's part of the Canadian pizza. What is going on?
Oh,
what do you put in pizza?
okay.
Pepperoni? That's it?
Should that
I'll
be...
eat a lot of stuff.
Do you put cheese on it? Do you put tomato sauce on it?
That should also be a Fuego for the next food one. The worst things to put on a pizza ranked 1 through 5, and we just let Paul roll. We just shut up.
Let him go.
Paul just rolls on for 2 minutes. Goulash. I suppose that's a dish. That's various things.
No, I was thinking borscht is supposed to be served cold, like but goulash is
a beef stew, right?
A beef stew?
Is it beef? It might be. Beef heats up well, though.
Yeah, I would have thought it'd be perfect.
I mean,
but yeah, I'm happy you said fish because fish was the default.
Oh no, that's why I had to say fish because fish obviously. Yeah.
I think people that like some office buildings wouldn't put popcorn in their vending machines.
That's actually the big thing.
It would burn popcorn, but that sounds like a weird thing anyway. Like, have we gotten past that as a society?
No, popcorn is still something that is like if you burn it, then the smell's just filling up the whole office and it's awful. But if you don't, everybody wants popcorn.
Yeah, but no one wants to burn the popcorn, so they're incentivized to not do it because they want to eat it.
Yeah.
I hope we've gotten past that.
Fuego.
All right, next up. What food do you think is underrated? Olives on pizza.
Mushrooms on pizza.
Mushrooms on pizza.
Underrated.
I think vegetables in general get a bad rap.
Green beans.
Yep. Oh, sorry. I'd like to go back to the first question. Kale. Kale can piss right off. Just
kale.
No.
I'd eat kale on pizza before I eat it.
I'm a spinach boy. For my leafy green, spinach 120%. Just the superior iron vessel over
I
kale.
agree. You have to do stuff to kale. You can just eat spinach, but you got to do stuff.
Exactly right. You can eat spinach in so many forms. Kale is god awful trash until you do 90 things to it.
Ooh, cauliflower and ramen are good choices too.
Cauliflower is a very good choice. It does everything. You can make.
People started doing cauliflower hot wings.
Oh my god, dude. That's right.
Yeah,
it is so versatile. Cauliflower is a really good one.
Like it's kind of close. I mean,
yep.
It's not. You know, you're not.
You
can trick yourself into thinking it's all right. It's just a soft delivery thing.
I had some Cajun cauliflower in New Orleans that I was just like, this is just delicious.
Yeah.
It was like slightly pickled and then breaded and deep fried, and you're like, wow, this is phenomenal.
Ramen too. Now I know ramen is like thought of as like the quintessential. If you have 25 cents, you can get ramen or whatever. But you know how to hook ramen up.
Yeah,
Mhm.
ramen's my favorite food in this world.
Wow.
In whatever form it comes in, I'm a ramen enjoyer. I'm an absolute ramen stan. It is friggin' amazing.
Really?
I made some a couple weeks
would have
ago.
thought that. Ramen being your favorite food?
Yeah, hands down, my number one.
But you can do so much stuff with it. You want a cheeseburger ramen? Make yourself cheeseburger ramen.
You can do it with cauliflower too. You know what? I think cauliflower might be the best answer just because it's so versatile.
I think
ramen's up there too.
cauliflower's
Like,
good.
that's
Pumpkin would be my other one.
pumpkin. Okay.
It's just so versatile.
Someone said ban pumpkin.
That's
earlier.
right. Somebody just said ban
really?
pumpkin. Yeah.
You're wrong. Sweet, savory, everything in the middle. You can make pie out of it. You can make soup out of it. You can just have it roasted. It's just
not
delicious.
enough. Pumpkin by itself is not enough. You've got to put
That's
all
true.
the other
That's fair.
like the fall stuff with it, and at
It's
that
more like
point,
an
kind of could be
ingredient.
anything.
Or a flavor.
All right. What's
All right.
next?
A last one. The Primarchs all get together for a night at a restaurant. Where do they go?
Because they're all going to argue. Because Purdy's going to want to go to the most efficient place. So he's probably going to go for like upmarket fast food because it's going to be fast and good. Whereas like Fulgrim's just going to be like, I want a degustation. I want 12 courses. I want stuff, pulled straight out of the warp. It's going to be difficult to negotiate.
It's like the 18 Primarchs are the only group keeping the TGI Fridays in business.
Yeah. 100%. What does Angron want?
He wants to go to like Tournament of the Kings in Vegas so you can see people killing each other while he's eating.
That's exactly correct. You know where they're going to go? They're going to go to Caesar's Palace Buffet.
Why?
Straight up.
Just because.
Because they're all bougie hotshots and they all want to feel better than everybody else, no matter where they go. And so they're going to want to walk through, not wait in the line, and just be like, "We're effing Primarchs, get out of the way." And then they're going to have a bit of everything for everyone. Falcon gets to have his quail eggs. Rogel gets to build a wall of mashed potato on his plate.
That sounds.
And Sanguinius gets to have dainty canapes.
Oh, actually, you know where they would go, and I'm going to be very sad talking about this because the one near me closed. I don't know if you guys have ever been there or heard of this, but Mongolian Grill.
Is that like Panda Express buffet or?
They have all the ingredients. They're all like the raw ingredients. They have all the spices, sauces, everything. You make your own bowl, and then you basically give it to the people that are behind the massive grill, and they grill it in front of you.
I've seen those.
That's pretty good.
Those are amazing. But I think that's where they go because they get to make whatever they want, and then just give it to one of the tech priests to make for them.
Yeah, I assume they'd all walk in, sit down, and then have just like the whole first company trying to make a dish. Like,
actually, they're gonna make Perturabo.
Oh,
did he pause?
I think he. Oh no, there he goes. He's back. You're back. Okay.
Oh,
say that again, Paul. I think you.
I said they're gonna make Perturabo build him a restaurant, and then he's gonna get real sad. He's gonna get sadder when he can't eat with him because he's having to make it work there.
Perturabo's pop-ups. Let's go. He's just got pop-up restaurants. Perturabo's pop-ups. Somebody brand that. I want to see the memes.
That is a great brand.
Just sad Perturabo on a skillet, just flipping burgers. Like,
but that's it.
That is, I think that's our show this week.
Yeah, it is.
It has been a pleasure, everybody. We had a lively discussion on many different topics.
We did.
But it's nice to have a week like this as we ease into what is going to be the summer soon. People getting ready to travel. If you got any events you're going to, please let us know which ones those are. I look forward to seeing some of y'all out there in the mix. Dustin, good luck at the tournament this weekend.
Thank you. We're gonna have a lot of fun. I got to get all my 20s now. I've got myself, right?
If you lose more than one game, you're off the show.
Well then.
He's not going to lose more than one game. He's fine. It's all right.
It doesn't matter. This show doesn't exist without me.
I know. Don't say that. I don't want to learn OBS.
Me and Paul, like on our phones, live streaming, just like, choppy, terrible.
Oh, y'all in chat have been great. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Check us out on Patreon. Cannot wait to do that. We'll see y'all next week, everybody. Good night.
Next week.